All right, so let's go on in the program. So this is the closing session. So my name is Erik Ström. I'm at Chalmers University, so I will be chairing this. So the first speaker will be Tommy Svensson for the closing address. So please, Tommy.
Good day. Dear distinguished guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to reveal the winner of the EuCNC and 6G Summit 2023 Booth Bingo. How many times should I start? Which one? The winner is Riccardo Marini from CNIT. Is Riccardo here? Oh. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I would now like to initiate the closing of EuCNC and 6G Summit 2023, together with all patrons, authors, exhibitors, and attendees here today and online. Here at the conference venue, we have had the second largest ever number of participants, 894. We have seen an outstanding technical program with top-level keynotes, panels, regular paper sessions, special sessions, convened sessions, poster sessions, workshops, and tutorials. We have witnessed an outstanding lineup of exhibitors and speakers' corner talks, and we hope that you have enjoyed our social program. This exciting conference program has been made possible thanks to exceptional contributions from the EU and global research community, the technical committee with volunteering co-chairs and TPC members, steering committee, conference general chairs, and the awards committee. Specifically, and with great gratitude, we would like to highlight the role of our patrons, Ericsson, Huawei, Nokia, Technology Innovation Institute, Keysight, National Instruments, Rohde & Schwarz, IMEC, Camcom, and Virginia Diodes. And our sponsors, European Commission, Gothenburg City, Sealeti, IEEE ComSoc, Eurosip, and EurAAP, who have made significant contributions to make this extraordinary event a reality. Here now, I would like to give a special thanks to the organizing committee, meetings conference organizer, Swedish Exhibition and Congress Center, Chalmers staff, and volunteers. I would like to welcome up at the stage, and when you walk up, please pick up a flower, a gift, and line up on stage. We start with Luis M. Correira. What are the flowers? There, that's a flower. And the gift is here. Okay. Chair Steering Committee from University of Lisbon. Next, I would like to welcome up my Vice Chair, Erik Ström, local organizer, co-chair from Chalmers. Next, we do have pipeline. Elisabeth Petzo, local arrangement, communication, publicity co-chair from Chalmers. Next, Haugu, publication chair and EDA's co-chair from Chalmers. Then Emma Katare, that had to take the flight. We give her a hand. I think we should have a look on the recording later. Big hand. She's a webmaster, EDA's co-chair from the University of Lisbon. Next, Maria Lindbeck. Local arrangement and financial co-chair from MITEX. Then from Swedish Exhibition and Congress Center, Vitti Holmstedt, Senior Event Manager. Then from the conference support behind the email address, eucnc2023@mitex.se, we have two heroes, Lina Selin from MITEX, and Marie Eriksson from MITEX. And then our precious volunteers. Azadeh Tabeneshnad from Chalmers. Sharita Marapata from Chalmers. Hanju from Chalmers. Mehdi Satari from Chalmers. Hui Shen from Chalmers. Björn Langborn from Chalmers. Nima Hajib Dol Rahim from Chalmers. Xiaorui Zhang from Chalmers. Hui Ping Huang from Chalmers. Junior Momo Ziazet from Ericsson. Leonardo Pereira Diaz from Ericsson. Rafael Almeida Albuquerque from Ericsson. Carmen Botella Mascarell from University of Valencia. And Akshay Vayal Paramabat from Chalmers. And finally, our photographer, William Butcher. William worked all the night to prepare for this slideshow. Thanks to you all. Without you, this had not been possible. And thank to all of you and all of you online. This conference would have been without all of us. A big hand to all up here and a big hand to yourself. So this concludes the EuCNC and 60 Summit 2023. And we have, next step is to look forward. And I hand over to Erik.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and I think we can end also with an applause for Tommy. He handed out, I don't know, a gazillion prizes. He has received none yet himself. So a big hand for Tommy. All right, and I would like to welcome our next speaker, Pavlos from SNN, who will talk a little bit more about the European programs in the 6G sphere. So please, Pavlos.
Thank you. Thank you, Erik. So here we are again at the closing session of EuCNC. So as we say, all good things come to an end, right? But maybe in this case, it is all exceptional and outstanding things come to an end, indeed, because this has been an excellent event with so high quality discussions and sessions. So they really set the bar very high for the next edition. So good luck to our IMEC colleagues for the next edition. But indeed, I really enjoy it, and I'm looking forward already to what's coming next. So I know I'm standing between you and the famous, world famous and long-awaited, let's say, flag handover. So I will try to be brief. For those who don't know me yet, my name is Pavlos Fournogerakis. I'm a program officer in the Smart Networks and Services Joint Undertaking, and I'm also acting as EuCNC and 6G Summit Steering Committee Vice Chair. So I would like, before I hand over to my colleagues to present the next edition, to say a few words about our achievements as well. What happened since last year, since the EuCNC in Grenoble, and what is coming next? So let's see if it works. Yeah. So you all know SNSJU. You know about our objectives, our expected, let's say, outcomes, and of course our drivers behind the SNSJU. Everything was mentioned, of course, in the opening session by our General Chair and European Commission Director Piers O'Donoghue, but I would like to focus on very specific aspects here. So the SNSJU has been established back in, as you know, in November 2021. As a partnership, a European partnership, to boost, to help towards, let's say, the 6G, the green and digital transition. And if this phrase rings a bell, it is because this is the motto of the conference, right? So this shows clearly the strong relationship between our objectives, the policy priorities, but also the research priorities in 6G. And as you know, we have already an upfront commitment of 900 million euros from 21 to 27, not 2017, of course. That has to be matched by the industrial part, because as we know, this JU is jointly led by the European Commission and the private side, which is the 6G Industry Association. In terms of involvement of member states, this is also a new feature compared to the previous 5GBP program, and I'm going to touch upon this matter later. And a big achievement, of course, is the setup of the dedicated program office. Maybe you don't know how difficult, how challenging it is to set up a new European organization like a JU, but we have done much progress in this respect. We are already a very a good team of 10 people, and we plan, of course, to grow in the next period in order to cover all the specific requirements that we have and the challenges in the next period. And you're all, of course, welcome to visit our website and see all the details for our plans, calls, and all the details of our program. And speaking about our program, this timeline shows, highlights the different phases of our SNS program. So you can see that we are currently in SNS phase 1. We speak about exploratory research still in 6G. We speak about concepts. We have already some projects that I will show later. But soon, slowly, we will move to the second phase. As of 24, we will enter in this second phase where we're going to have more discussions in terms of detailed design, in terms of system optimization, with, of course, the goal, the utmost objective is to reach SNS 5 in terms of creating the full 6G system by 2030. So this is the scope. And here, of course, we also have the 3GPP roadmap, and this is, let's say, deliberate choice to include it here, because we always say that now is the time for Europe to push in this direction to create this critical mass and, let's say, impact the standardization roadmap. We have a window of opportunity, as also mentioned by Piers in the opening session, to, let's say, to decide on the key technological choices and go and in the standardization process as of 2025. In terms of achievements, we already have let's say 35 projects started the 1st of January, most of them. This call was based, let's say, on the first work program of the SNSJU, which was structured, as you can see, around 2 different paths. We had the 5G evolutionary path with streams A and streams D, as you can see here, on 5G advanced evolution and research, but also on large-scale pilots. And of course, we had the revolutionary path, which is in stream B about research on 6G technologies, but also on experimental infrastructures. And I was really happy to see that we had already many projects that, even though they have started, so I mean, 1st of January, most of them, we have booths. They showed some results. Of course, not many tangible results. It is already very early, but it was very good to see all the activities in the context of the projects, what they plan to do, but also important in terms of the open calls, because as you know, in some of our topics in C and D, we plan for open calls in order to include further players in our program, SMEs, startups, scale-ups, but also other organizations. And I was really happy to see in this exhibition many of our projects. I don't want to go into the details. You may have seen all this part, but just to mention that a few key messages that we have so many unique beneficiaries already in the first set of our projects, 288, 30% of which are not 6GIAM members, which shows the openness and the inclusiveness of our program, of course. And we also have a big participation of SMEs, and this is going to grow through the open calls, the financial support to third parties that I mentioned earlier. So this is the first, let's say, phase, the first wave of our projects. But now we want to move further. And what's further? Now we have the projects, we need to go into the collaboration of the projects. So again, I was very happy to see the discussions in this respect, the proposals that has been already presented here at EuCNC in terms of how to structure the collaboration under the SNS program. And of course, we envision, don't want to go into the details now, but we envision many working groups, 3 different types, the strategic ones to cover all the strategic objectives, but also working groups in the projects, like we had in the 5GPP, and working groups initiated by the 6G industry associations. And you can see that we anyway envisage interaction between them in order to succeed our programmatic objectives. And of course, collaboration is not only in terms of project, it's part of the whole SNSJU DNA, because we need, as we say, to avoid fragmentation in all these areas in order to have a common vision, in order to have a shared approach for deployment ecosystems towards one single global standard, as was mentioned many times in many panels of this event. Even in the last one, was mentioned many times. And of course, we speak about EU technological leadership here and sovereignty, but these are not contradictory aspects. We don't want Europe to be one closed region, one closed silo, but we want to create the excellence, European excellence in terms of technology, and in order, let's say, to lead the standardization approach and all these efforts all over the world. So we speak about collaboration at the level of the states representative group. We also had a meeting with member states and associated countries on the first day, a very successful one, and a workshop on how to boost synergies and include all the national initiatives in our program. We also had, we have the SNS stakeholder group with a verticals participation inside. Also, we had another panel, a very interesting panel, on how to further involve from the onset the widest possible industry base, which is very important for program success. And of course, we have established mechanisms with already partnerships like the KDT in terms of microelectronics or photonics that was mentioned many times, but also we plan to continue and include more partnerships and collaborate with them, partnerships like the high-performance computing or AI or connected mobility and many more. So these activities are all ongoing. And last but not least, in terms of international collaboration, which is also very important because, of course, we promote a European approach, but we need to discuss globally and be on par with what is happening at the global level. Here we have already established many activities, even in our work program with US in the current work program, but we also plan to have collaboration activities and in kind of joint activities and some calls that encourage the international collaboration with Japan, with Korea, and many other regions. And the target is, of course, as I mentioned here, to avoid fragmentation. And that's why, in terms of standardization bodies, we had already initiated this approach of collaboration. We already had a big event in February to introduce the projects in the standardization workflow. And here in the EuCNC, we had many sessions, a dedicated one on standardization with very important key takeaways. And of course, there will be follow-up activities. So I think I have to stop. I will briefly say that this is the current work program. You are all welcome to visit our website and see what is going on. The call is closed 25th of April. The evaluation is ongoing. We are going to have it soon, and the new selected projects will most probably be announced, let's say, in September. And we will have the second phase of the projects. And then what's next? We currently are in the process of creating the 2024 work program with all these different priorities that I mentioned. And we expect that, as you can see in this work program timeline, that it will be published again in autumn so that we can open the next call, the SNS call 3, around the end of the year. So just 1 minute before I close. Please allow me 1 minute because I have some key messages for you from what I mentioned. So we can see that Europe is fully committed to 6G. We have a vibrant research and innovation program, and SNSJU can be really the driving force behind this green and digital transition. We have heard in this conference about many enabling technologies and application, I mean AI, JCAS, many different, let's say, societal and sustainability drivers. We heard about sustainable 6G, but also 6G for sustainability, about society. In the last session, we heard about public acceptance, which is very important. So we need also to tackle this thing from the start. That's why we already have such initiatives in our program. We speak about collaboration activities ongoing, in the context of projects, but also with EU initiatives, other partnerships, vertical stakeholders. We have a first portfolio of projects, 35 projects that is going to increase in the next months with around 25 more. So you will see we have a very strong portfolio on 6G research in Europe. And the last message that was also mentioned by Piers, but I would like to highlight that there is a window of opportunity to shape now the 6G technologies and prepare for one single standard that was mentioned many times, and with EU stakeholders in the lead. So, many thanks for your attention. Thanks for everything. It was an excellent event, and see you all in Antwerp next year. Thank you.
Thanks, Pavlos. So this is very exciting area to live in if you're a 6G researcher, obviously. So now it's time for the most important part of this event, namely to hand over the flag. So the handover will be to IMEC. So please, IMEC, come up. We practiced this, so let's see. So let's see. Middle, center, center here, right? I will stand here. And well, okay, and we face the audience. Ready?
Okay.
Okay. 2, 3. Ta-da! Thank you very much. So this looks promising. And now it's time for the IMEC team to present the next year's edition that will be in Antwerp. So we have here Ingrid, Johann, and Peter. I think Peter will be speaking. Oh, Ingrid will. Okay, so you have one clicker and two microphones, maybe. I don't know. Or hand up.
I will pass. That's fine.
This is
That's
very
fine.
organized.
So, hi everyone. On behalf of IMEC, I'm very proud that we will organize the next edition of this EuCNC and 6G Summit conference. As I was already said by Pavlo and many others, this edition was excellent. It was outstanding at all levels, technically, but also at the social level. We were part of it. And now we are in trouble because we are facing a great challenge. We should, for the next edition, we should organize it with at least the same quality as this year's editions. So, but at IMEC, we like challenges, and we also have a good track record on addressing challenges. So we will do our best. And of course, let me move, here you can already see a first glimpse of the beautiful historical city of Antwerp. This is where the conference will take place. But what I was saying is, in order to make also the next year edition successful, we fortunately have some good people to help us. We have the usual suspects in the steering committee, with Luis, Pavlos, Matti, and also Ari in the technical committee. But besides that, we also are building out a very strong local committee. So Johann and me, so we are the technical program co-chairs, and then Peter, he is the local chair. He will be very visible in the organization, as he will explain you later. And maybe, oops, can I go back? Seems that I pushed too much. That's not working. Oh, now I'm at the beginning. It's not working. Fine. What I wanted to say is that if you don't know IMEC, I think most people know IMEC because IMEC is a world-leading research and innovation hub on microelectronics, on nanotechnology. But IMEC, besides that, IMEC also has digital platforms, and the digital innovation is actually happening in universities that are embedded in IMEC. And this team here, we are embedded at Ghent University, myself and Peter, and Johann at University of Antwerp. And there a lot of innovation is happening on networking, software, data management. So that's all I wanted to say. I think Johann wants to say a few words because he's the one from Antwerp and the conference is happening in Antwerp. So
thank you very much. Well, very, it's working? Yeah, just very short. We will wait for you in Antwerp. Antwerp, as you are going to see, Peter will show you, Antwerp is a very welcoming city. But most important, what I wanted to say is the following. EuCNC is not just a conference, it's a celebration. It's a celebration of innovation, celebration of research, celebration of industrial perspectives, and most importantly, it's a celebration of our community coming together. So let's celebrate together in Antwerp. I'll be happy to be the local guy in Antwerp. Now, Peter.
Yeah. Okay, so my name is Peter. I will just present a few things about the next venue. Now, for those who do not know Antwerp, it's in fact the biggest city in Belgium. It's bigger than Brussels. And it's in the economic driving force of Belgium itself. It's the second largest port of Europe. And if you have been eating bananas here, well, most probably they pass through Antwerp, because Antwerp is the largest banana port in the world. It's also so that it's the world's capital for diamonds, starting already in the 15th century. 86% of all rough diamonds pass through Antwerp. So this really makes it the capital of diamonds in the world. Now, it's also a lot of research things going on. Johann already pointed out a few things. So, for example, Antwerp is, together with the university, with the IMEC, working on a smart city. And in fact, when in June 24, when you will be in Antwerp, we expect that the traffic, thanks to 6G and your research, will run like this. Well, let's hope indeed that 6G will allow this to do. But how to get to Antwerp? Well, it's very conveniently and very reachable. It's a direct train line from Brussels Airport. It takes you half an hour. There is a train every half an hour. And these pictures are the central railway station of Antwerp. And to remain a little bit in the Scandinavian spirit, it's probably the most beautiful railway station in the world. Now, the venue itself is called A Room with a Zoo. As you see on the map, you have the central railway station. Next to it, you have the Antwerp Zoo, one of the oldest in the world. And next to that, you have the venue itself. Now, the venue belongs to the zoo. And that means that any profit of the venue, of organizing conferences, goes to the Zoo Foundation to support breeding programs of endangered animals and so on. Now, just a few pictures of the rooms we're going to use. So this is the large concert hall, the main auditorium. But you also have in the historical part a few nice rooms. The marble room, going to be used for exhibition and also for catering. And then you have the Darwin room, where you have a skeleton of a whale hanging from the ceiling. Now we have to change gears. These were the official reasons why you should attend EuCNC in Antwerp. So this is what you need to tell your boss to convince him to submit papers and so on, and to come to Antwerp. Now I'm going to reveal you the real reasons why you should come to Antwerp. But don't tell anybody else, but these are the real reasons. So, did you enjoy Göteborg, the welcome reception? We'll have the welcome reception at the zoo garden, the zoo terrace. If weather permits, you will have access to the zoo as well. Did you enjoy Göteborg, the gala dinner yesterday? Well, the gala dinner is going to be in the trading house, an old building dating from 15th, 16th century. Did you enjoy ABBA yesterday? Well, yeah, that will be very hard to beat. But remember that we have Tomorrowland in Belgium, close to Antwerp. We'll try to find something. Did you enjoy Göteborg? Well, the drinks, yeah, well, expect more in Antwerp. Did you enjoy Göteborg, the sightseeing and the things like that? Well, expect more in Antwerp. It's the birthplace of Peter Paul Rubens, one of the most famous painters, classical Flemish painters. And so I tried to convince the Antwerp Convention Bureau to bring a Rubens with me to have it on stage here, but they refused one reason or another. I don't know why. But they also have a lot of historical buildings. So did you enjoy the weather here in Göteborg? Average sunshine in Göteborg, 1,773 hours per year. Sorry, it's going to be less in Antwerp. It's only 1,720 hours per year. And the days are a little bit shorter, but that's the advantage of having a longer nighttime. So we will be very happy to welcome you in Antwerp for EuCNC and the 6G Summit in June 24. So see you all over there. And I have a very short video of Antwerp to conclude. Okay, Erik, handing over to you again.
Okay. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to visiting you guys in about a year's time. So
Okay.
I'm really looking forward. And good luck with the organization.
Thank you.
All right.
It will be a challenge.
All right. And now this is actually really it. So I thank you for you who are still here, most of the volunteers, maybe one or two delegates. This is the closing, really closing of this session. And thank you very much for coming. I hope you enjoyed the event as much as I did. This was truly an excellent experience from my point of view. All right. See you next time.